Yeah, Marvel set themselves up nice because this movie, if it explains, the first snap was like a small rip, making it messy. The second snap kind of opened it up a little more. Then the third snap, and that happened in the span of a month. So that just tore it open.
Yeah, and it'd be nice too if it was really like Tony who did it with the icing on the cake, Because that'd be not like because he was doing something that needed to happen, So like it was inevitable.
They could have did it any other way. He had all the stones.
Yeah.
So he could have immobilized. He could have locked Thanos in some type of time thing. He could have reversed him. He could have did all that instead of doing the snap. But why risk it?
Yeah, but then again, that might not be it. I think it might be the snap where Thanos did though when he destroyed the stones.
Remember what the ancient one? Times.
Yeah. But remember what the ancient one said? Like when you take a stone out of its universe, but it's like he didn't take it out of the universe. He destroyed them all together. So he might have started the rip, and that'd be kind of cool too if it was Thanos too. Like he destroyed the rip, but then with the snap, then maybe the Hope did actually put it back together.
Maybe he canceled out the first snap.
I remember them going in time, made too many branches off.
Because remember, this was 5 years. So after they destroyed the stones, 5 years have gone by. So if you look at it, that tear in the universe has been open for 5 years.
Yeah. And then when they were going back in time, that might have made different alternate realities up to a certain point. You know what I mean? So I don't know when the earliest they went back in time. I don't know if it was 1940 or whatever. But whenever they went back in time, Tony and Captain America, maybe didn't. At that point, that's when the multiverse began. From the furthest time they went back in time, because that's when they started to change things here and there. So, like in this reality, when Tony might have talked to his father, maybe a scene we didn't see is in that news branch of the universe, he gets into a car accident or whatever, or whatever. That's a lot. Because I don't know if I want the multiverse to have always existed, Because then it'd be like, okay, so you mean to tell me there's a Thanos in that universe too? You know what I mean? Or stuff like that. So it'd become nice to know, like, this caused just a ripple in time, and now these alternate versions were born out of that, and not that they always existed. Honestly, maybe the Celestials always made them. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Spider-Man is usually the one that introduces the multiverse, so they gotta explain it.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't mind it being like there's a multiverse, which they started to touch on that in Thor, the 616 universe. So there's just different branches, different universes. So the Thanos from another universe is probably like a skinny punk who doesn't want to destroy the world. He's just a regular guy. So, and it could be like another Thanos that's like a madman, but they're in their universes.
Yeah.
And I feel like they might play on the whole convergence thing from Thor 2, how they all aligned, and maybe when that tear happened, the universe was all aligned. So different people fell from different parts of the universe. So they said that will explain the mutants. That will explain mutants coming in. That will explain Fantastic Four. That would be almost as if to say, yeah, that's because of that rip in the universe. Fox came in.
Oh yeah,
and that's how they will set it up. Sony needs to just get in line and start playing games,
For real. That'd be kind of interesting. And maybe certain universes didn't have certain people in them altogether. Like maybe all of Avengers didn't exist in Fantastic Four universe. Maybe it was just them and whoever baddie they were fighting against, but just them alone.
Exactly.
Because that would explain, like, because that whole thing where it's like, oh, well, this was happening over here. Where was this person over there?
That's why I can appreciate Endgame, because like Endgame, when they went to New York, is like, if you think about it, everything that happened from the other movies, like, okay, well, y'all was here the entire time. Where were y'all? And then it showed.
I like that. I like that too.
And I was like, all right, bet.
Social Premium's over there doing surgery.
And I was thinking, like, because even when they first introduced Spider-Man, I was like, all right, so I hope they would go back and show what he was doing during that time, and then you should show him as a kid. I was like, oh, okay, perfect. So you're a child during all this, so you're not gonna be a part of that.
Yeah.
But I still think I think what would make Spider-Man crack that 2 billion mark is if they do another Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield in it.
Money. You think so?
I like to do something like that.
I don't think so.
Like Tom Holland said that he would love to do a movie like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I think Tom Holland was the one who said it would be nice if Uncle Ben didn't die in this universe. Uncle Ben is just Tobey Maguire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought that would be dope.
But then like, I wouldn't want that either, because then he's like, "Oh, you're Uncle Ben." No, you're Peter Parker. I can't. I'm not gonna see you as his uncle. No.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can see it like as to say, like, let's say they do a trailer and everything like that, and then you see Spider-Man, and then you see another Spider-Man. He takes off that.
But that's what I think would be great. If they do that.
If that was the trailer,
yeah, you're right about that. Because I feel like if they do, I thought you meant like if they do like. Maybe this would be a good time for them to do it, because if they do it down the road, because next Spider-Man movie ain't gonna come out until maybe the next 5 years, within the next 5 years, and it's like doesn't be too far from the Sam Raimi's universe Spider-Man. I don't think anyone really liked the Amazing Spider-Man universe, but that's why I think that Spider-Man who Andrew Garfield played, I think he would be good at the 2099 Spider-Man, and Tobey Maguire should be the original Spider-Man. Like what you're saying, if there is a split, that'd be so dope.
So if they do that,
because they have the noir in this movie.
Because technically, yeah, that would work.
That's why I said they should have.
That would work. Cause I'm trying to remember if they stated the date in Andrew Garfield's movies, because they didn't state a date. And let's say that, yeah, while everything that's going on in the current MCU, like in his universe. He's aged, and now it's 2099 in his universe, and he comes back, and he's like that, and then the other Spider-Man is the original. Like that could work.
Yeah, like each universe
that could work.
It'd be dope if each universe is not on the same timeline.
Right.
And it'd be cool, like if let's say Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man comes, and he's like, wow, look at all this technology, because he's in his universe, he might be in 2004 or whatever the kid can be, But then let's say Andrew Garfield's universe is a little faster, and maybe because of they were playing with the time stone and all that other stuff, it was messing up their timeline, you know what I mean? Or something like that, And now it made them go extremely fast into the future, where now he's the 2099 Spider-Man. He's stuck in the past.
They would have to do that movie would have to just be solely a Spider-Man, no villains, just different Spider-Mans fixing their timelines, and then that's when you can introduce Miles Morales.
Right.
Yeah, you can do that.
Because in his universe, maybe Spider-Man didn't exist at all. You know what I mean?
But then But if they do something like that, then it'll be beckoning back to the movie that came out last year, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah. So they got to be careful with that if they do something like that. But
it'd just be an adaptation at this point.
Yeah,
like the live action version of that.
I think if they do something like that, because they did J.J. Abrams and his son, they wrote a comic book. They wrote a Spider-Man comic book. Right? So they put up on social media 4, 3, 2, 1, and people took that 4 and they freeze framed it, and then they put it back out. Just that, and people started to go berserk. Like, yo, we about to get Spider-Man 4. Because they were saying like, all right, so Marvel got back the property, so they're gonna do a proper Spider-Man send-off, and people started to go crazy for Tobey Maguire, because they thinking like, if it's 4, there was a Spider-Man 3, so. Because even I was like, that don't sound right. That's a good idea, but I'm like, man, that's gonna be too convoluted, because we already have Peter Parker. Like, how would that work? And then when I looked into it more, and I was like, okay, I see it, and I see how people got confused. I can see how people would get confused but a lot of people got excited. So Marvel would be stupid for not capitalizing on that. Not to say like, all right, we're gonna make another Spider-Man 4, but
well, if you think about it too, is like you want to get a little bit more of a bit of a stretch. It's like, all right, you have Spider-Man 4 out of that universe, but then you have two amazing Spider-Man movies, and you got two MCU Spider-Man movies. Put them together, that's 4. You know what I mean?
yeah, you could do that.
They could get a little.
Yeah, you can put all of them together. You can get like 11. So,
that'd be dope though. If in this movie, that'd be a good. I think that would be a good like closing scene.
I think
like,
so.
After everything, and then this Spider-Man comes, and that Spider-Man comes.
Or even when he's sitting there on the roof or something like that, and then you see like a hand, and he looks up and it's Toby. And he's like, he doesn't know who he is. He's like, don't worry, kid. It gets easier as you go along.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. Don't even put Andrew Garfield in it, because people always see Tobey Maguire. He is the Christopher Reeves of Spider-Man.
Yeah, sure.
He's the Christopher Reeves of Spider-Man. Like, he is the definitive Spider-Man. Like, Andrew Garfield was. I think people were more excited at the movie because they were going into different characters. Well, the first movie I thought was the best out of the two because it did.
But that's not saying much in my opinion.
It's not saying much because I think the second one suffered because they try to add everybody in it.
Yeah, you try to build a universe, and
they weren't. I was ready. Like, yeah, it wasn't. They were ready, but they executed it so poorly. Like with the Sinister Six, like, and they were making it seem like, oh yeah, like the credits made me laugh so hard.
The credits to any movie that hasn't capitalized to make you laugh, even what do you call it, Green Lantern makes me laugh. The ending scene of Green Lantern though was probably the best scene in the whole movie, to be honest with you. But that's it. That's it. That's all you got now.
Yo.
Even the Hulk kind of flopped on that too a little bit.